Hi everyone. Today is Tuesday, May 5th, and it happens to be Cinco de Mayo. So in light of that holiday, we are going to be doing a chili pepper pattern drawing. So here's what it's going to end up looking like. Here's kind of the finished product. All right, here are the materials. I'm going to put that aside for a moment. And here are the materials you're going to use. You need a white piece of paper. Mine is 8.5 by 11. Any size will do. If you want it larger, your picture's just going to be larger. If you want it smaller, your chili peppers will end up being smaller. Okay, you also need a ruler or any kind of straight edge. If you don't have a ruler, any straight edge will do. I have a template here that I've used before, and this has several different shapes on it. You need something where you have a couple different shapes. If you notice in my final product, I have circles in 2 different spots and 2 different sizes, and I also have some squares. These I drew, I didn't use a template for. Really the only thing you'll need a template for are something to do some circles on. Okay, now let's get started. The other things that you will need are colored pencils. If you want to use crayons, you can do that too. You'll need a pencil because you want to be drawing it first in pencil, and you'll need some kind of black marker to trace over with. You can use a Sharpie. I've been just using this skinny marker right here. I really like using this one. I think it works really well on the computer paper that I've been using. Okay, so let's get started drawing. So part of our paper today is we are going to be using, we're going to be doing harmony, and we're going to be doing repetition and patterns, lines and shapes and color. All right, so here's how we start. First thing we're going to do is we're going to be drawing out, let me get my final product here, we're going to be drawing out these lines right here, this kind of giant shape right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my paper, actually I'll just put it vertically like this, and I'm going to put my ruler diagonally, and kind of anywhere here, it really doesn't matter where you do it. You know, if you do it up here, your shape will be bigger. If you do it here, it'll be smaller. So what you want to do is you want to draw a diagonal line going from kind of the middle up to the top here. It's not going to touch the corner. It's just going to be kind of over here by the top, and I'm going to draw a line right there, just like that. And so what I'm doing is I'm kind of sectioning out my paper. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go right here to this corner, and it's going to touch right there, and it's actually, this line is going to go all the way to the corner of my paper here. So I'm going to be doing a second line that goes down like that. Okay, so now what I've done is kind of create this giant greater than or less than sign on here. All right, so now I'm going to put my ruler to the side. I'm not going to need it for a couple minutes. And in order to do this, I'm going to be drawing 3 chili peppers. I want to draw out my middle chili pepper first. Now, chili peppers have kind of a curve to them. And so what I'm going to do is I need to gauge how large I'm going to draw my chili pepper. I want my chili pepper to be large, all 3 of them to be large, but I need to figure out how I'm going to draw my stem up here. And what I figured out is my stem is about halfway between my fingers. So I'm going to use my index finger, and it's about a little less than halfway there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my middle chili pepper going down. And I kind of want it to be, it's going to go part way in here and part sticking out. So I'm going to have this top, I'm going to measure kind of like from here to about here. I'm going to do kind of a guideline, and then I'm going to draw my stem. So I'm going to do a straight tiny line there. It's going to curve around, curve in and out. Okay, then I'm going to do another one. In, curve, out. And this is almost going to look like the top of a pumpkin too. So then I'm going to do just 1, 2, 3, 4 little scallop or scoop lines right there. Okay, now I want my chili pepper to go all the way almost to the bottom right here. So I'm kind of going to go down, down, down to the bottom of my paper. I don't want it to touch, but I want it to scoop all the way down about here, and it's going to be at an angle. So I'm going to do a little guide point right down there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one side of my chili pepper, and I'm going to go out and around. And sometimes this might really help if you have a picture of a chili pepper. Mine's going to scoop around like this, and I'm going to go out from this side, and it's going to scoop around and kind of come together in a very nice rounded motion at the end right there, not pointed. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is then I'm going to move to my next chili pepper. And if you kind of sometimes, if you want to go back and you feel like maybe this chili pepper is a little too skinny, you can come back. That's why pencil is always great. You can kind of shape it around like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my next chili pepper. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start up top. This chili pepper is going to go from about up top down here. It's not going to sit right next to it because then I'll be left with a lot of open space at the top. So I'm going to position this one up a little bit and position the other one around a little bit. So this chili pepper to my left is going to be curving inwards, and this chili pepper to my right is going to be curving inwards as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to measure about halfway of my finger like that, make two little guidelines, and I'm going to draw around, around. And in this point in the video, if you ever feel like you're getting a little behind, you can always stop it, pause it, and go back. All right, then I already did my stem. I'm gonna come out from my stem and go around. And I want my chili pepper, it's gonna go, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a curve. It's gonna go almost all the way to the bottom there. And same thing, come around. Now chili peppers are skinny and they are a little bit larger on the top than they are on the bottom. I'm gonna go back and fix that. And they're not too wiggly. All right. I'm going to do a third chili pepper on the side. Same thing. Position it this way. Up. I'm going to make my stem coming out. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time I do this, it looks a little different. So this is going to go out. And around, come all the way down. And this one is not going to go below this this diagonal line right here. This is going to come out. There we go. Perfect. Okay, excellent. So now I have my 3 chili peppers drawn, and they're all drawn in pencil. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my shape template because I want to do some circles inside here. So we're going to create a really cool pattern with my chili peppers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to show you the final product again really quick just to kind of get an idea. I think it helps to really have a good image next to you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my shape template, and in order to create some really cool polka dots and have it not all the polka dots being straight up and down like this, I'm going to have some of them look like they're coming off of my chili pepper. So what I do is I put my template off to the side and I just trace half. So do you see how that looks right there? I have half right there. Then I'm going to actually do a full circle, and I'm still using pencil. The reason I'm still using pencil is in case for some reason my template slips or I decide I don't want something positioned there, then I have the option to erase. Okay, so I'm going to be drawing my circles. Perfect. And we've got all my circles in here, and I really like how that's looking, how they're coming off of the paper. I don't want all of them or off of the chili pepper, excuse me. And I have my circles, just a few on there. Perfect. Okay, now I have my circles on there. What I'm going to do next is I want to add larger circles to create some interest and also get some balance. I have circles here and I'll have circles here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my larger circle template and I'm going to come up here. And in order to make it look interesting, I am going to create my circle. It's kind of coming off of my page. And it's starting up here. I want to keep my middle section right here, where it's like that giant greater than sign. I want to keep that free of pattern because I'm going to have my patterns inside my chili peppers and then the patterns outside this area as well. So I'm going to be creating some circles. I don't want to go over my chili pepper. I want to go around it. So any place that it kind of overlaps, you're going to go right behind it like that. Okay. Create some circles on here. Here's a nice half circle, and notice how I'm keeping all of my circles out of this middle part. All right, fantastic. Here we go. There's another circle, and I think I'm gonna add one more down here. This one's gonna go half on here. It looks like it's going half on the paper, half off, and behind that chili pepper. Okay, perfect. Now I'm finished with my circles. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to use my ruler straight edge and I'm going to create some stripes. I want different patterns in each of my chili peppers. So I'm going to be doing some diagonal stripes, and I'm going to do 2 stripes right here with parallel lines and parallel diagonal lines. And I want to point this out. I'm going to be coloring in the shape. So that's why I want to create a nice shape there. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to make another line. But now I have to make another line down here as well, because this is going to be a color, this is a color, this is a color, and this is a color. So in order to do that, I have to make sure in my mind that I know that I'm creating a shape. Okay, and the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here and I could use my ruler, but I'm going to kind of freehand it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a kind of a pointed shape right here. Almost like a giant zigzag shape right there. There we go. It's actually called a chevron shape. And I have one right here. I'm going to do a color, color, color. I'm actually going to make a smaller one here. We'll go a little smaller there. There we go. So now I have one color, another color, one color, and another color. There we go. All right, fantastic. Now, for my last part of my shapes, just to get it really interesting. So I have circles up here. I have some cool designs inside my chili peppers, and then I'm going to do a design at the bottom as well. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a checkerboard pattern. So I'm going to use my ruler to get some nice straight lines right here going up and down. Here we go. Perfect. And I have some vertical lines going down. I'm going to turn my paper. This is where it gets a little tricky. You really want to focus on what you're drawing here. This is going to go across, but not overlapping your chili pepper here. All right, and I'm actually just going to do one more. I want to do large checkerboard lines. If you do smaller checkerboard lines, it'll just be more to color in the when you get to that part of coloring it in. Okay. All right, and we're going to pause right there. When we come back, I'm going to show you what we're going to do is trace over all of your lines with black marker. That's your next step. So go ahead and do that actually. Trace over all your lines with black marker, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here's what you should have done. You have it drawn in pencil, and the next step is I want you to trace over everything with a black marker. Now this will take you a while. I know this took me a while, and I was very, very careful to do it. I traced over every single thing very carefully with my black marker. And then what I'm going to have you do is I am going to have you color it in. And I'm going to put this right here so you get a really good look at it, so you can pause my video and kind of go back and really look at the colors. Feel free to use other colors if you'd like. But the goal is you would like this giant area right here to be one color. I chose yellow because it really stands out. It makes all of my other colors really pop out of here. And here's another idea for this, is you want to keep the top area that's in the pattern area. You want solid chili pepper in a pattern background. Solid chili pepper, pattern background. Solid colored chili pepper, pattern background right here. You have a solid background juxtaposed with a patterned chili pepper as well here. All right, so take a good look at this. And I think that these colors are really nice, but feel free if you would like to use other colors as well, it's fine. Again, I use colored pencils. If you would like to use crayons or paints, you're welcome to do that too. All right, so happy Cinco de Mayo and enjoy your chili pepper drawing. Have fun, see you next time.